Hey College Success, welcome to your week 12 assignment video. So we are quickly getting to the end of the semester at this point. Because of that, I just want to remind you again that your student services assignment is coming up fairly soon. So if you remember, in My Stark State under academic support, you'll have the link to the student success workshops. Now that we're in November, you'll scroll down. And there is still quite a bit of offerings in November, so please make sure you take a look through there. Some of them are, again, main campus, Akron campus, or Zoom, and there's just a few offerings in December. So if you have not registered and attended, or at least registered, please do so soon, since you only have a little bit of time left. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to week 12. If you have not watched your chapter 10 lecture video already, please make sure you do so you have that basis and understanding of the assignments. So I'm going to click into the assignment folder. You have a discussion forum this week, as most weeks. Please post your original by Wednesday for your weekly attendance, and then respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. So chapter 10 is all about like financial literacy and money management and smart decisions when it comes to all of that. So it's kind of just like almost like an opinion, like emotional. How do you feel when you do not have enough money for something? Will you stop spending on some wants while you build up your emergency fund? So it's a different type prompt, but it's really making you kind of think through, like, how do you go through the steps to make sure that you're kind of backing yourself up in case of an emergency. So that's your chapter 10 discussion. Again, most of you are doing a really nice job hitting around that word point. Again, if you're under by like a noticeable amount, you will see those points taken off in the grade book. All right, so 2 assignments then after you post your original response and responded to classmates. You have a chapter 10 assignment, Know Before You Owe. It's going to open up into this PDF here, and this is going to walk you through kind of thinking through some different like options as it relates to like scholarships, grants, loans, that kind of thing. And it has the example up here. Example 1 is a student who has more than enough aid, so a scholarship or a grant or something to cover, and that's why it's negative, meaning excess aid. And then example 2 has a student who has a positive amount, which means that's what they owe. And so what you're going to do is come up with your own examples using Stark State's information. So step 1, you're going to go to admissions, paying for college, tuition, and fees. And this is where you're going to get this information from. So right here is how many credit hours are worth, 6 credit hours, 1,137, so you can see the breakdown there. And then different fees. These are, most people get these fees right here. All of these are based on different needs. So you can kind of look to see, do you fit into one of those categories for certain fields? You're going to take that information and you can decide, are you going to have a student taking 10 credit hours or a student taking 15 credit hours? We're going to keep it pretty similar. You can see like up here, example 1, example 2, they have it similar. So tuition and fees, so maybe you choose a student taking 12 credit hours. So you would put $22.75, 20 cents. That's what you would put right here for both of those things, tuition and fees. Room and board. Now we don't have dormitories or on-campus residency. So maybe here you can plug in what a student like yourself or maybe an average student would expect to spend on maybe rent or groceries or utilities, or just kind of like a monthly living type situation. That's what you would put right here, and then add that together. And again, all of these are going to be the same. Each of these categories are going to be the same. This is where it's going to start to get different. So one student is going to have more than enough. Another student is going to have not enough. And you're going to put the difference here. Remember, a negative amount means excess aid. Positive amount means what they owe. Okay, so you're going to come up with your own examples here. Then you're going to answer the following questions. What should the student with excess aid, right here, do with their refund check? What's a smart way of spending that money? And then how can the student who owes cover the difference? So if they still have $2,000 they have to cover, what are 4 ways to try to pay that balance off? And you can rank them. It says from most desirable to least desirable. So you can go ahead and type in here, and then like we've done before, you save it with your changes, you upload it in here, and then answer those 2 additional questions in the right submission area. And then hit submit. If you have specific questions on how to complete that table, please reach out and let me know. The last assignment, as always, is your quiz. So you'll pull up your Chapter 10 quiz. Another thing I just want to reiterate, make sure you're answering in 2 to 5 complete sentences and that you're responding to all parts of the questions. I know some of these have a lot going on. Just make sure that you're answering all parts of it. So this is another budget question. If your expenses are greater than your income, what can you do to balance it? This is focusing on banks, credit unions. What should you consider when deciding between those two, a bank versus a credit union? How do you evaluate that? If you were to lead a discussion, or if the student in this situation has to lead a discussion about financial literacy, about use of credit cards, what kind of things should she include in her talk? Question 4, this is talking about going through the 5-step financial planning process. In this case, Danny wants to purchase a laptop. What are the 5 steps she should go through while making that financial decision? And then compare and contrast grants, loans, and work study. So if you want to make a little table, just make a little list, all 3 of the things, and then which are best to fund college and why. Make sure you submit that as well. So as a recap, you are posting in your discussion form by Wednesday for week 12 attendance, responded to classmates by Sunday, and then submit your Chapter 10 assignment and your Chapter 10 quiz by Sunday as well. Have a great week. Bye.